Hello everyone, good evening, how are you all? So yes, we are here again with the mixed questions from the science section. And yes, all these questions are from the SSC Cgl part, and these questions were previously asked, which will give you the idea what kind of questions are asked in the Cgl examinations from science part. So without any delay, we'll be starting with a topic. Let's see what is the first question of the day. The first question is, the antibiotic penicillin is obtained from which of the following? So we have four options here. First one is synthetic process, second one is the bacterium, third one is a fungus, and fourth one is virus infected cells. Let's see who will give this answer, and everyone who's there in session, everyone is requested to kindly like this session and start commenting here. So yes, what's the answer? So what is the correct answer over here? And please give me your names, who all are present here. Kindly give me your names. Yes, waiting for the answer, please. I'm not getting anyone's comment right now. So everyone who's live, kindly tell me your name so that I can start explaining this part. Answer, please. What is the correct answer? Okay, so I guess I'm getting your comments quite late. Till then, I'll explain this part. When we're talking about penicillin, this means here we are talking about the penicillin. What is that? If I talk about the vaccination process, right? Yeah, so Vikram is the first one to answer this, and that's totally correct. So it is what? It is actually obtained from fungi. That is actually a fungus, right? So yes, obviously, if I talk about that Edward Jenner, you can directly relate with that, right? And here's the first vaccine which was created. Now, if I talk about vaccines, why it is used? So if I talk about BCG vaccine, which is given to babies, why it is given? BCG vaccine is given for so that baby doesn't have tuberculosis, that is TB, right? So in order to prevent baby from TB, after the birth of baby, that particular injection is given. In the similar manner, if I talk about the present times, here was an issue of what? COVID, that is coronavirus. So in order to prevent from that, there was a vaccine. So in order to prevent from all these stuffs, where we can even take the example of polio, these vaccinations are done, right? So in the similar manner, if I talk about this penicillin, so this penicillin injection, right? This penicillin is obtained from where? So it is obtained from a fungi. And yes, that name is again from the penicillin part. That's why this penicillin name actually came. Okay, so next we have the study of fungus is known as what? Now this question is from Cgl 2017. What is the study of fungus? What is the study of fungus? Can you tell me? Study of fungus? Still waiting for the answer. Yeah, Gobinath is the first one to answer this. Gobinath is saying, sir, it would be C. That is mycology. And yes, if I talk about this fungus study, obviously the correct answer is going to be mycology. If I talk about physiology, what is that? For example, if I talk about human body, so if I want to study human body's different structures, where we'll include the internal organs as well, whole body's structure, that at that location is the one where we'll talk about physiology. It can same thing can be with the plants as well. So if I talk about plant physiology, that means I'm talking about overall study of the plants. If I'm talking about human physiology, I'm talking about overall study of the humans. In the similar way manner, if I'll go with this phrenology. Now what is this phrenology? If I'll talk about our skull, that is, if I'll talk about all those parts where I can give you the example. If I'll talk about a parent who loves his children, and it's very obvious, everyone's parent love their children, that is love towards the offsprings. So all those mental abilities or those particular study which would be related to your mental stability and all, that would be regarding your phrenology. Now if I talk about this mycology, it is the study of fungus. And if I talk about biology, what's that? Biology, from the name itself, I have told you that bio means life. So life study is what? Life study is actually biology. So yes, among us these options, option number C would be correct. The study of conformation of the skull. Yeah. And yes, Vikram, if I'll talk about the skull part, I was giving you the example, love towards the offsprings and all those examples. You know, offsprings, that is we are talking about the babies. So if I want to study all those things, here I'll say that is actually your phrenology. Okay, next. Next is tallest and thickest type of grass is dash. So which one is the tallest and thickest type of grass? And everyone who's there in the session, please like it and start giving answers so that we can again go with the 360-degree analysis. So yes, the tallest and the thickest type of grass is what? Is it alfalfa? Is it fodder? Is it bamboo? Or is it lichens? Vikram wants to know about oxytocin. Okay, Vikram, I'll tell you about oxytocin. Before that, I want this answer. So, Gobinath, your answer, please. Yes, very good. So, if I talk about the tallest and thickest grass, that is bamboo. So, what is the correct answer over here? Bamboo. Now, there's a question which is asked from Vikram. Vikram sent, and Vikram is asking, sir, tell us something about oxytocin. So, if I talk about this oxytocin, what is oxytocin? Oxytocin is actually a hormone. What is that? It is a hormone. Now, from where do we get it? So, let's have a detailed discussion on it. First of all, if I talk about glands, glands are the ones from where we get hormones. Now, there must be someone who has given this name. This is actually asked in the examination. This gland's name was actually given by Starling and Bayliss. So Bayliss and Starling were the one who has given this name glands. Now glands are the ones from where we get hormones. Now in the similar manner, if I'll go with this gland, so glands are actually of three different types. One is endocrine, second one exocrine, and third one is mixed gland. Now, in spite of going more in depth, I'll directly come to this endocrine gland where we have several glands which includes pineal gland. Then we have pituitary gland. Then we have other glands as well where we can include hypothalamus, we can include thyroid gland, we can include parathyroid gland, we can include adrenal gland. But the main thing is, if I'll go with this pituitary gland, which is known as master gland of the body. What is known as master gland? It is known as master gland because it is controlling all the other endocrine glands. Now, the main thing comes in, where the Vikram's question was, sir, what is oxytocin? So, this pituitary gland is the one from where we get a hormone that is known as oxytocin. Now, oxytocin is also known as love hormone. Now, why is it known as love hormone? So, if I talk about the attraction between the opposite sex, where males or females, males towards the females or females towards the males, with some exceptions, right? So, if I talk about this hormone, what is happening? During the childbirth, when childbirth takes place, during the childbirth, we know that, this is asked in the examination also. If I talk about childbirth occurs where? So, childbirth actually occurs in the uterus part, where baby develops in the uterus part of female, right? Now, just imagine the scenario, when we were born, we were not of this size, but still our size was greater in comparison to the size of uterus. So, for the contraction and relaxation, we need some hormone. So, there's a hormone which is oxytocin, which is helping in the contraction and relaxation of this uterus part so that baby birth can take place easily. So, during the baby birth, this contraction the contraction in the uterus can take place easily because of the presence of this oxytocin only. Now, if I'll go in depth with this part, let me tell you, let's just imagine the scenario when we were in 10th or 11th standard. Vikram, Gobinath, we all were there. If I talk about that particular age, where we can talk about adolescence age, where it starts with that 11th or 12th standard, and basically I can talk about that college life. In college life, there comes a time where we think, okay, what is career? Just leave behind it. Only this is the one with whom I'll spend my life. Now, at that time, what happens? There's a hormone that is working out, that is dopamine and throttling. We say, okay, this is my love, this is my true love. I'll just bring all those stars and all. If I'll bring all those stars and all, in Hindi we say, Chand tare tod launga tumhare liye. That one, all those particular things where we just forget about those careers and other things, we just are indulged in that part. That is because of dopamine and throttling. Obviously, this oxytocin is present in males also. Oxytocin is present in male also, female also. But what happens? After the childbirth, female gets attached to their babies more and the males are the one, no doubt, oxytocin is there. But still, dopamine and throttline, these particular hormones are still in the males, because of which we can talk about those. Okay, if I'm coming to office at that time, we have some other affairs. So if I talk about males, those particular oxytocin level remains low, but in females it is higher. Okay, he is my husband, this is my child. Here, female is not thinking about anyone else. That time we'll talk about that affection, love and affection part is actually coming because of this oxytocin part. So I'll not go in more detail with that part. Sometime when we'll be having theoretical section, then I'll go with more examples. But this was the scenario which I actually wanted to explain. So there would be different types of hormones where I was talking about throttline, dopamine. I'll say in the negative sense, here you are just forgetting what is carrier, what all things are there. Only you are dependent on something. But after this oxytocin part, when it comes into life, your life becomes actually stable, where you are thinking about someone which is actually special for you, not only for you, you are also special for them and they are special for you, right? So that is oxytocin. That's why we are saying that as a love hormone. But the basic thing which comes in the examination is, what is love hormone? That is oxytocin. Where it is helping? It is helping in the contraction and relaxation of the uterus. So for the examination purpose, only this much is important. But if we will go in the detail, so I have given you trailer of the movie. Sometimes we'll have more discussion whenever we'll be having that theoretical session, whether in the application or at our YouTube channel, right? So I guess Vikram, Gobinath, you have received your answers. Let's move forward now. So here we have next question. AIDS virus destroys what? Now this is from SSC Graduate Level Tier-1. What is the correct answer here? Gobinath is saying some breakup. Okay, man. Okay, so what about this question? AIDS virus destroys what? So is it lymphocytes, monocytes, neutrophils or basophils? Answer please. Question is, AIDS virus destroys what? Is it lymphocytes, monocytes, neutrophils or basophils? Gobinath is going with 1, Vikram is going with A. That's true. So if I'll talk about this part, that is AIDS. What is it? AIDS stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. What is that? That is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Now, how it comes? If I talk about a virus, that is HIV virus. What is the full form of HIV virus? Human immunodeficiency virus. So human immunodeficiency virus, that is HIV. This HIV virus does what? From what immuno itself you can relate. This immuno, that means we are talking about immunity. Your immunity level goes down. Why it is going? Here, these are the cells, that is T lymphocyte cells actually, which are related to WBC. What are WBC? WBC stands for white blood cells. So in this case, what happens? Our immunity level goes down in such a manner that whatever virus is entering into your body, it will play its significant role. There is no one to fight against it, and that's why we say that our immunity level has actually gone down. Now, one more question which is asked, if I'll talk about this AIDS, which is that particular testing which is done? So the testing which is done is ELISA. ELISA is the testing which is done to check this AIDS. Now what is that? ELISA stands for your enzyme linked. It is, just a second, sorry. ELISA. Yeah, it is enzyme linked immunosorbate. This is asked in the examination. Do not forget this part. It is enzyme linked immunosorbate assay. Very, very important. Do not forget, right? So all these questions are from the previous year part. What is the full form of ELISA? That is enzyme linked immunosorbate assay. Which is testing which is done for AIDS? That is ELISA testing. What happens when AIDS virus attacks you? So here the virus name is HIV. And HIV virus will do what? It will destroy T lymphocyte cells which are linked with WBC, that is white blood cells. And yes, WBC are also known as policemen of our body. So this was the 360-degree analysis of this question. Let's move forward with the next question here. And everyone who is there in the session, please like it and share it. Next is, Edward Jenner is associated with dash. So we have already discussed about Alexander Fleming, right? Vikram, but it's good that you are on the right time, at the right place, at the right track, so that once the examination is clear, at that time, see, if I'll talk about that oxytocin, that was not oxytocin. Oxytocin is actually releasing now, because at that time, you are giving that example now, at that time, dopamine and throttling was the one which was actually acting. So, Chand Tare Tod Launga is the one where dopamine and throttling are playing its significant role. Yes, oxytocin is the one where you will get true love and affection. Okay, so there's a difference between two. So yes, Vikram is with the C option, that is smallpox. Others, can you answer this part? My question is, if I talk about Edward Jenner, so it is Edward Jenner is associated with what? Edward Jenner is associated with what? Answer. So we have Vikram's answer is smallpox. Waiting for your answer, Gobinath. Okay, so till then I'll tell you, Edward Jenner is associated with the smallpox. But if I'll talk about penicillin, so if I'll talk about this penicillin, can you tell me who was the one who has discovered this? Yeah, Gobinath, you are totally correct. But if I talk about penicillin, who was the one who has discovered penicillin? We have just discussed about it. Please remember, they will talk about Alexander Fleming. There we have Alexander Fleming. So there's a difference between two. Please remember this part. Do not forget. So we have next question here. Next question is, rabies is a dash. So is rabies helminthic disease? Is it viral disease? Is it bacterial disease? Or is it protozoan disease? What is the correct answer? First answer, please. Let's see who can give the first answer. Yeah, totally correct. What about this question? Rabies is what? Rabies is what? And if someone asks you about the first vaccine, please remember, I'll write here also. Which was the first vaccine? So the first vaccine was for the smallpox. Okay, so yes, waiting for this answer. Rabies is what? So Vikram is going with B. Gobinath, is your answer for the previous one or for this one? What you're giving answer for A for previous question or for this one? Okay, so Vikram is also going with viral, that is B. That's true. If I talk about rabies, it is actually a viral disease which is caused because of virus. Now what happens here? Here, if this rabies occurs, this may occur by biting or it may also occur by scratching. Now what is asked in the examination, if I talk about rabies, the issue that comes in, see, if rabies is there, if a dog has bitten, if there is virus which will cause rabies, it's not the one where instant reaction will be given. Within a week or within 2 weeks, what will happen? There would be an issue that is known as hydrophobia. What is that? There's an issue that is known as hydrophobia, where if I'll try to break this word, I'll use blue pen. If I'll try to break this word, this phobia means what? Phobia means we are talking about fear. If I'll talk about hydro means what? Hydro means water. So there's a fear of water. What will happen? There would be a fear of water, right? Not only bite of dog, that's true, Vikram. It is because of the bite of dog. It may be because of monkey as well. So it totally depends where is that particular virus located. Okay. So yes, in the case of rabies, there's a hydrophobia, that is fear of water is there. And it shows its effect after some days, after few days, or even sometimes after few months. Okay. So here, rabies is a viral disease. Next. What is the name of a group of similar cells performing a specific function? Very basic question. So I guess this everyone can answer, and everyone who's there in the session, please start commenting and do not forget to subscribe this channel. And everyone, please like the session as well. Yeah. So cells, what is the name of a group of similar cells performing a specific function? Is it tissue, organ system, or cellular organization? What is the correct answer here? What is the name of a group of similar cells performing a specific function? What is the correct answer? Answer please. So Vikram is going with A, that is tissue. Gobinath, I guess you can answer this. Very basic question. Right. So we'll talk about cells. What happens? If I talk about the process of cell division, when there are so many cells, they will create what? Similar type of cells, they are going to create a tissue. When there are several tissues, they will actually make up organ. When there are several organs, they will actually make a cell. When there are several cells, they will actually make a tissue. And when many organs are there, they will create what? Organ system. What kind of organs? You can talk about stomach, you can talk about liver. When all organs are arranged, you talk about an organ system. So this is the procedure. And the same thing was asked here. So just have a look. What is the name of a group of similar cells? So the group of similar cells will form tissues. Group of tissues will form organ. Group of organs will form organ system. That is your whole body, whether it is of Govinath, Vikram or Deepmani's. Okay. So here, what is the correct answer? Group of similar cells performing a specific function is what? That is tissue. Simple. Next. Xylem in plants are responsible for what? Xylem in plants are responsible for what? Let's see who can answer this. It is the basic one, but it is again and again asked in the examination. Xylem in plants are responsible for what? So the time you are answering, let me tell you. If I talk about plants, I'll talk about vascular tissues. Vascular tissues where I can talk about xylem and phloem. So if I talk about xylem and phloem, just have a look at the word. So Vikram has already given the answer A and Gobinath is also with A, and both of you are correct. If I talk about xylem, it is the transportation of water. Now if I talk about this word, so from this word, what is that? Fur. Just have a look what it sounds. So we have Aarti here, and Aarti, you are absolutely correct. What I was talking about this word fur. From fur, phloem, and similarly fur is sounding for food as well. So fur for phloem and fur for food. So this means if I talk about the transportation of food, it is done by what? Transportation of the food is done by phloem. But the transportation of water is done by xylem. Okay, so let's move forward to the next question now. What about transportation of oxygen? If I'll talk about the transportation of oxygen, here when we'll discuss blood, we'll discuss about RBC. That is, red blood cells are helping in the transportation of the oxygen. Next, the hormone used as an oral contraceptive is dash. So we have 4 options here. Now this question is from the hormones part. And yes, obviously it was asked previously. So let's see who can answer this. The hormone which is used as an oral contraceptive. So it is what? Is it cortisone, progesterone, testosterone or aldosterone? What is the correct answer here? Who will answer this? So let's see who will be the first one to answer this. So Gominath is going with B. Okay. Then Aarti, Vikram. Vikram is going with D. Sir, it would be aldosterone. Gominath is saying, sir, B, it is progesterone. Then Aarti, what's your answer? Can you answer this part? Yes, waiting. So Aarti is not giving answer over here. I'll explain then. See, if I'll talk about these particular, okay, Aarti is also with B. Yeah, totally correct. If I'll talk about this progesterone, that is the correct answer. So if I'll talk about females, if I'll talk about contraception, so we talk about whenever there's a fertilization, how this fertilization takes place. If I'll talk about fertilization, there's a process where sperm cell actually combines with the egg cell. And this egg cell is generated from where? This is actually generated from the ovary part. But when these particular cells fuses, so that particular process is known as fertilization. And this fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube. All these questions are previously asked, please do not forget. In the fallopian tube, this particular fertilization takes place. Now what if there is higher level of progesterone, it will not allow sperm cells and egg cell to fuse together and there would be no process of such fertilization. And when there would be no fertilization, this means there would be actually contraceptive part where childbirth will not take place, and hence progesterone is that particular hormone. If its level increases, it will not allow sperm to fuse with the egg and hence there would be no such fertilization. Now, if I talk about testosterone, it is present where? It is present only in males. Where we talk about testes over there. Progesterone is present in females. If I talk about this aldosterone, so it is present where? It is from adrenal gland. It is from adrenal gland and it is helping in maintaining the blood pressure. It helps in maintaining the blood pressure. If I talk about this cortisone, what's that? This cortisone is actually going to make you stress-free. So in order to remain stress-free, this hormone is actually playing a significant role. So whatever role is there, whatever issues are there in your body, all those issues can be resolved by hormones. All those hormones, where one of the hormone, I'll tell you, If I'll take the example of a pineal gland, from there we get melatonin. Do you know what is the role of that melatonin? Every day, for example, I wake up at 7, but let us assume there's a morning lecture at 5. I have to take current affairs session, for example. So what I'll do, I'll put an alarm clock. Now when I'll put alarm clock, obviously I'll put at 4 or 4:30. Now regularly I have to take the current affairs session. So after 2 or 3 days, in case that alarm doesn't actually ring or my mobile doesn't ring, what will happen? I will still wake up at 4. Why? Because there's a biological clock which is set in my body, and that is because of pineal gland. And what is that hormone? That hormone is melatonin. In the similar way, if someone is very high, or sorry, if there's a height of a person which is very high, it is because of what? That is because of growth hormone. If there's a person who is very small, that is, we can talk about dwarfism, that is because of what? There's lack of growth hormone. So each and everything is related to the hormones. Okay, so here if I talk about the hormone which is used as an oral contraceptive, that is progesterone. That is option number B will be correct. Next, where is the pineal gland located? Just discussed about it. Let's see who can give this answer. Yeah, that's true, Gopinath. That is biological rhythm. Totally correct. What about this question? Answer please. Answer please. So Gopinath is going with B. Vikram is with B. Then Aarti, what do you think? What would be the answer over here? Pineal gland. If I talk about brain, within brain we have pituitary gland also, and we have pineal gland as well. So if I'll talk about pituitary gland, then it is actually releasing oxytocin. Apart from that, we also have growth hormone over here. But if I'll talk about pineal gland, it is again there in the brain. Both of them are present in brain. So pineal gland releases melatonin, which acts as a biological clock. I've already given you an example of it. So we'll move forward now. Totally correct. Absolutely correct. The pineal gland is actually located in the brain. Next we have, which is not true about temperature. Again, the question which is from Cgl part. Let's see who can answer this part. Yeah, and everyone who is there in this session, please like it and start giving answers. Answer please. Question is, we have a question which is not true about temperature. First is, it is one of the 7 SI based quantities. Second is, it is measured in degree centigrade in SI units. It's, if I talk about the comparison, 0 degree centigrade is equal to 273.15 Kelvin, and the D option is all are true. So Gopinath is going with B. Vikram is also with B. And okay. So yes, if I'll talk about this question, it is asking which is not true. So if I'll go with the first option, it is among us one of the 7 SI based quantities. That's totally correct. Aarti, Vikram, Gopinath, all of you are correct. If I'll talk about those 7 SI based quantities, you can talk about length, that is meter, time, that is second, mass, that is kilogram. In the similar manner, if I'll talk about the amount of substance, that is mole. Similarly, for the temperature, we have Kelvin, right? So here what is given? It is measured in degree centigrade in SI unit. That's totally correct. So Amrish has also given the answer, and Amrish, you are also correct here. And everyone who's there in this session, please like this session. And yes, please do not go with even numbers. Just like it either 1 time or 3 times or 5 times and so on. Okay. So yes, if I talk about this SI unit, so it would not be centigrade, it would not be Celsius, it will be Kelvin. And this option is absolutely correct. That is temperature 0 degree centigrade is equal to 273.15 Kelvin. Okay, so let's move forward with the next question here. Next we have, in a refrigerator, what produces cooling? So is it the ice which is deposited in the freezer? Is it the sudden expansion of the compressed gas? Is it the evaporation of a volatile liquid, or none of the above? What is the correct answer here? What produces cooling? What do you think? What produces cooling in the fridge? Answer please. So still waiting for the answer. So Gopinath is the first one to answer this, that it would be B. Vikram is also going with B. Amrish is with B, and Aarti is also with B. And that's totally correct. If I'll talk about here, what is going to happen? Here, there's a sudden expansion of the compressed gas. We have seen, if I'll talk about our fridges, we have that particular area in which we have those particular gases which are in the compressed form. And when it is released, so the sudden expansion is actually giving you cooling. And those cooling units are actually present in the above part. Why? Because hot air actually rises up and cold air settles down. So here option number B, that is sudden expansion of a compressed gas, would be the correct answer. Next is temperature of distant luminous bodies can be determined by dash. So we have 4 options here. Let's see who will give the correct answer. So what is the correct answer here? Temperature of distant luminous bodies can be determined by dash. What is it? Is it mercury thermometers? Is it gas thermometers? Is it pyrometers or color thermometers? So what is the correct answer here? And this question actually creates confusion many times because we are aware of thermometers. First of all, I'll see the answer, then I'll explain this part. And everyone who is there in the session, please like it. Yeah. And I want answers from everyone so that we can go in the depth as well. Answer please. Amrish is going with B. Vikram is going with C. Gobinath is with C. Then who's left? Aarti is left. Aarti, your answer is pending. So we have 2 options. C. Acha, Gobinath is saying sir, not C. It would be either B or C. Sorry, it would be either B or D. Okay. So we have 3 options here. No one is going with mercury. I don't know why. Okay. So Aarti, waiting for your answer, then I'll explain this part. If I talk about these mercury thermometers, that's true. They are actually what? They are actually those particular thermometers where I'll talk about clinical thermometers, where you can talk about the body's temperature. Now, if I want to measure the body temperature, then I can use it. But since they are talking about distance luminous bodies, this means I can talk about sun. Luminous bodies which are emitting light of their own, they are not requiring anyone's light. Gobinath is saying, sir, I am going for B. Okay, Gobinath. If I talk about this gas thermometer and color thermometers, obviously any kind of thermometer, if you will take towards the sun, do you think that will be existing? No. The thing is that here, for the distance luminous bodies, what we can do, we can go with the radiation part. We can go with the radiation part where these radiations are actually used in order to measure the temperature. So everyone please remember, whenever we talk about very high temperature, it's 3000, 4000, whatever temperature you are talking about, 3000 degrees centigrade, 4000 degrees centigrade. Yes, Gobinath, absolutely correct. That's true. For the very high temperatures, you have to go with pyrometers. Very important question. Do not forget, because this is the one which creates confusion in the examination. Very important, repeatedly asked. So I guess you will never be wrong now. Okay. So next we have a copper disc has a hole. If the disc is heated, the size of the hole will increase, decrease, no change. First increase, then decrease. So what is the correct answer over here? Okay, fine. Yeah, Vikram, you were correct. Great. Awesome. So here, next question please. A copper disc has a hole. If the disc is heated, the size of the hole will increase, it will decrease. It will not change, first increase and decrease. Acha, okay Gobinath, fine. So everyone, great. Now let's see who can answer this one. So I'll be waiting for this question. Copper disc has a hole. If the disc is heated, the size of the hole will increase, decrease, no change, first increase and decrease. What do you think? So Amrish is the first one to say, sir, there would be no change. Gobinath is going with, sir, it is going to increase. Vikram, Aarti, what do you think? Will it increase? Will it decrease? Will there be no change or first increase and decrease? Increase. Gobinath is saying, sir, 100% increase. Whatever others are giving answer, but my answer would be increase. Vikram is saying, sir, it would decrease. Okay. So we have decrease, no change and increase. No one is going with D. Aarti, your answer is pending, still pending. I guess I'm getting your comments quite late. Aarti, can you just refresh it so that we can have live comments? Yes, so Aarti is also going with increase. Now let's understand. If I'm talking about copper, we know that if I talk about those particular metals have the properties. When they're heated, they are actually expanding. You can talk about those rails. If I talk about those particular rails on which our trains are running, there also that gap is given. Why? Because in the summer season they will expand, right? And that time we don't want that these particular lines can actually help in the derailment of the train. Train should not derail. Train should not fall, right? So here that particular gaps are given by because that will be expanding. Now in the similar manner, if I talk about a copper, I'll make it in such a manner. Let us assume this is a disc. Now if this will expand, obviously this part will also expand if this is expanding in this direction. So it's very obvious that this hole will also be expanding, right? So yes, here what is going to happen? It will actually increase, right? So these are the questions that are asked in the examination. You can use your basic logics also. So yes, I guess this time it is clear now. So it's good that everyone has given the answer. Let's see with the next question. At what temperature in Fahrenheit pure water freezes? At what temperature in the Fahrenheit pure water freezes? Let's see who can give this answer. Okay, Vikram. So yeah, Vikram, Aarti, Gobinath, Amrish. Who would be the first one to answer this? Waiting for the answer. What is the correct answer over here? At what temperature in Fahrenheit pure water is going to freeze? Is it 32, 0, 48 or 37? Gobinath is going with A, that is 32. Vikram is also going with 32. Then who's left? Aarti and Amrish are left. Aarti, Amrish, what do you think? And yes, Aarti and Amrish are the ones who are here for the first time, I guess. So in these 2 months, Gobinath and Vikram are the candidates who were from the very starting. So Aarti and Amrish, let me tell you, if you are wrong here, do not feel bad. Why? Because once you are wrong here, the correct answer will strike your mind in the main examination. Or the next time whenever you will read it, you will think, okay, I gave wrong answer over there. But that was the answer. So this is going to be very, very beneficial. The thing is that do not copy anyone's answer. Just give your answer. No issues. So yes, Amrish is going with B, Aarti is going with A. Okay. So Amrish, what happened? I knew this can happen. What is that? Acha, Amrish has also given answer 32. Yeah, that's true. That's correct. Now what happens? In the examination, we miss this part. And it's very, very common thing for all the humans that we skip this part and we just check at what temperature pure water freezes. So the thing which comes into our mind is degree centigrade, right? If I'll go with degree centigrade, that would be 0 degree centigrade, that's for sure. But what is the main thing? The main thing is that in Fahrenheit it is asked. So since it is asked in Fahrenheit, this means we have to give answer in Fahrenheit. This was for degree centigrade. Now let's have a look. What is the formula for the conversion? The formula is C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9, right? Now since we know that water will be freezing at 0 degree centigrade, so if I put the value 0 over here, so it will be what? It will be 0 by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. Now this will be 0, so 9 into this will be 0. So what is left? 0 is equal to F minus 32 and F will be equal to 32. So yes, the correct answer is going to be 32, that is option number A. So I guess, see Amrish, now what is going to happen in the main examination, now when you will sit now, you will always check, sir, what is written over here. You will never skip this part. So it's good. When you're giving answer, you're not copying the answer. That's a very good thing. Okay, so let's move forward with the next question. The least penetrating power of a power ray is dash. So which one is which one is having the least penetrating power? So is it alpha ray, beta ray, gamma ray or X-ray? So what is the correct answer? Till the time you are giving me answer, let me explain this part. If I talk about radioactivity, when we talk about radioactivity, in radioactivity what happens? Due to the instability in the nucleus, these particular radioactive elements keep on disintegrating and they release alpha, beta, gamma radiations, right? So yes, we are talking about alpha, beta, gamma rays and X-ray. So here, if I talk about the least penetrating power, So first of all, I'll be taking your answer. What is the correct answer? Then I'll explain this part. So Vikram is going, sir, it would be beta ray. Okay. Amrish, Aarti and Gobinath. Can you answer this part? And it's very, very important question. It is repeatedly asked not only in CGL, but also in other examinations where I can talk about higher level examinations. So Vikram is going with alpha ray. Okay. Gobinath is also with alpha ray. Amrish and Aarti, your answer is still pending. Waiting for the answer, then I'll explain it. What is penetrating power? I don't have any paper here. I'll just give you an example. For example, let us assume this is a paper. Now what can happen? Let us assume this is a paper. If gamma ray is going, it will go with such a point that it will actually pierce this paper and it can go out. But if I'll talk about beta ray, its penetrating power is quite lesser in comparison to gamma ray. So it will be going quite slower, but still it will penetrate. Now if I'll talk about this alpha ray's penetrating power is so less that it cannot even pierce the paper. Are you understanding what I'm talking about? So in Hindi we call it Bhedan Chamta. Very, very important for the examination. What I'm talking about? If I'll talk about this penetrating power, it is in such a manner that is first comes the gamma, then comes beta, and then comes alpha. So alpha ray is the one which has the least power, and gamma ray is the one which has the highest power. It is again and again asked in the examination, so we must not forget. Please remember, alpha ray cannot even pierce the paper. That is its penetrating power. Okay, so yes, everyone got this answer. Let's move forward to the next question now. Next we have, in the absence of Earth's atmosphere, sky would appear dash. In the absence of Earth's atmosphere, sky would appear what? Is it blue, deep red, white or black? And the same question was asked in CGL, but that time question was twisted. The question was, if I talk about astronauts, so if I talk about those astronauts, what do you think? These astronauts, when they visit all those particular planets, what do you think? Sky must be appearing to them what? Will it be blue? Will it be red? What kind of environment they must be seeing nearby them? What is the answer here? So Gobinath is going with C. That is white. Gobinath is with C. That is white. Then we have Vikram's answer. That is a deep red. Others, can you answer this? Acha, sorry. Vikram is going with black. That is option number D. Acha, that answer was for the previous question. Amrish is going with D. Okay. So Amrish, Vikram are with D. Gobinath, what's your answer? Gobinath and Aarti, your answer is pending. Amrish is saying that it would be black. Great. Waiting for the answer. Please, please, please go in the super fast manner. We have some other questions as well. Actually, do you know how we are able to see colors? The thing is that, for example, if I'll talk about this bottle, why I am able to see this green color? Do you know why? Because it is absorbing all the others or all the other colors. It's only reflecting green color. That's why we are able to see this green color. In the similar manner, this is yellow color. Why? This is yellow color because it is absorbing all the colors and reflecting only yellow color. In the similar manner, just think of the environment which is present in the atmosphere. There is no such light. When there is no such light, how will it reflect color? Obviously, when there is absence of all the colors, the color which is present is what? In the absence of all the colors, there is only a color, that is black color. So according to the physics, there is no such color which is black. So whenever there is no such color that is existing, that would be black. The same answer would be here. In the absence of Earth's atmosphere, the sky would appear black. It's not white. Very, very important question. In the similar manner, this question was asked also in such a manner that astronauts, whenever they see the sky, when they are in the space, they will see that it is actually black in color. So you have Shankar here, totally correct, and HR is there. Hello HR, Vanakkam, and Nandri for coming here in this session. So HR, how's your health now? I guess it's good now. Okay, so here we have next question. Next question is, the reason for a swimming pool to appear less deep than the actual depth is dash. Is it refraction, light scattering, reflection or interference? What is the correct answer? The reason for swimming pool to appear less deep. What is the reason behind it? What is the reason for a swimming pool to appear less deep than the actual depth? So is it refraction, light scattering, reflection, or interference? What is the correct answer here? And do you know what is refraction, reflection, these basic logics? If not, I can explain this part right now. Okay, Char, great. Happy to hear that. Yeah. So my question was, the reason for a swimming pool to appear less deep than the actual depth is what? Is it refraction, reflection, what? So yes, Vikram is with A, Gobinath is with A, Shankar is going with B, that is light scattering. Amrish is with A. Who's left? Aarti is left. And HR, if you are feeling good, if you want, you can still give the answers. If there's no issue in the typing. Because I know you are suffering from fever and all. So there might be issue. So yes, Aarti, your answer is still pending. Till then, I'll explain this part. When we talk about refraction, what is it? In refraction, there's a change in medium. For example, this is air. This is water. This means this is rare in comparison to water, and water will be dense. So what happens when a ray of light comes here and it strikes the medium? So here it must go in the straight direction, but in spite of going in the straight direction, it will check. If it is from rare to denser, it will bend towards the normal. If it is traveling from denser to rare, it will bend away from the normal. And hence we can see that the thing which must be here, that would be visible. Just a second. The thing which should be here, it would be visible here. So in this condition, we can say that, just have a look at the depth. So here we'll see that it will appear less deep than the actual depth. So this is the logic of refraction, right? If I talk about reflection, what is that? The light ray which comes, it goes back into the same medium. This is incident ray, this is the reflected ray, where angle of incidence and angle of reflection are equal and they are lying in the same plane. This is reflection. So if I'll talk about the reason for the swimming pool to appear less deep, this reason, that is refraction. So option number A is correct. So I guess everyone is aware of this answer now. Next, spectacles used for viewing 3D films have what? So do they have bifocal lens, convex lens, concave lens, or Polaroids? What is the correct answer here? Spectacles which we use for watching 3D movies. I guess everyone loves those 3D movies. You might have watched Jurassic Park's latest part that has actually come. Apart from that, Avatar, everyone would have seen that second part. Oh, sorry, they would be waiting for seeing that part, where whenever we use those particular glasses, we get 3D images. It seems as if those particular things have come out, right? 3D direction, X, Y, and Z axis. So yes, Gobinath is the first one to answer this, and the correct answer would be Polaroids, right? So Gobinath, Aarti, Amrish, Shankar, Vikram, HR. What is the correct answer? Gobinath has said it would be D. And everyone who's there in the session, please like it and share it. Vikram is going with D. Aarti, Amrish, Shankar, Gobinath, Polaroid. Yeah. So I'll talk about the spectacles which is used for viewing 3D films, that is Polaroids. Because of this Polaroids only, that 3D effect comes in. Where do we use this concave lens? So concave lens is actually used when we'll talk about hypermetropia, right? So yes, if I'll talk about bifocal lens is where by whom? If someone has presbyopia. Remember, here we can talk about myopia. Here we will talk about hypermetropia. So I guess everyone knows this answer. And this one is important. Do not forget. Got this answer? Should we move forward? Oh, sorry. I have written this opposite. Concave lens, it would be myopia. And for convex lens, it would be hypermetropia. So this is actually asked in the examination. For 3D part, you will be going with Polaroids. For myopia, you will be going with concave lens. For hypermetropia, convex. And for presbyopia, you will be going with bifocal. Now my question will be, what if I have color blindness? For color blindness, what kind of lens should be used? Let's see who can answer this part. That's true. By mistake, I've written that. So yes, if I talk about color blindness, so for color blindness, which kind of lens should I use? For color blindness, what kind of lens we can use? Can you answer this part? color blindness. And this is for the CGL part. That's why we are asking. We have not asked this question in the morning session. We were discussing about. Very good. That's true. Vikram, awesome. What happens? If I talk about this part, that is color blindness, we are unable to differentiate the color. You might have seen that particular part. When you will go for the selection process, now your color blindness would be checked. So there might be a number that would be written in such a manner, 26 or 36 in such a manner, that would be of different colors. And everyone cannot read that part, because if you are the person who is suffering from color blindness, you cannot read that part, and color blindness cannot be rectified using any kind of lens. So this color blindness, please remember, there is no such lens through which you can actually rectify that. So color blindness is the one where you are not able to differentiate between the colors. Okay, so yes, this is the one. Very important for the CGL part. Do not forget, for the color blindness, there is no such kind of lens. Yes, Amrish, totally correct. Vikram, absolutely correct. Now let's have a look at the next question. Dioptre is the unit of what? Very basic question, and this would be last question for the day, because next sir is also waiting for his class. So yes, what is the correct answer here? Dioptre is the unit of what? Diopter is the unit of what? Is it for the power of lens, focal length of the lens, intensity of lens, or intensity of sound? Diopter. Obviously, we know that for the sound part, if I'll go, well, there I'll talk about decibel, right? But since we are talking about the power of lens here, Gobinath, Vikram, all of you are correct. Here, diopter is the correct answer. And how we are going to measure it? 1 upon focal length. Remember that part? So yes, Shankar, Amrish, Vikram, Gobinath, absolutely correct. So the correct answer would be power of lens. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be having a session in the bilingual class, where in the Exampur channel we'll be having discussion from the GD questions, right? And we'll meet up in the evening of Monday. There we'll be discussing the previous year questions of SSC. Till then, bye bye everyone. Please take care, and remember, we have 12 to 1 SSC different examinations questions discussion, and between 4 to 5 SSC Cgl previous year questions. Okay, so bye bye everyone. Please take care. Enjoy your day. Take care.